Ahmadiyya Sect's faith in question in Malaysia. On March 19th, the High Court in Malaysia will decide whether the Ahmadiyya sect of Islam is legally considered Muslims or otherwise. This will be a key development, as thus far Pakistan is the only nation to have officially declared Ahmadis to be non-Muslims. A 3-member Court of Appeals bench chaired by Badariah Sahamid sent the case back on August 27th, ordering the High Court to ascertain the individual's religious beliefs. Badariah, who has since retired, said that the Selangor Sharia court had no jurisdiction over them if they were Ahmadiyya by authentic faith. She said that, should it be proven that they were following the faith after apostatizing from Islam, the religious court had authority over them. Going back to July 6th, 2018, Vazeer ruled that the Selangor Sharia court had no right to interfere with the religious activities in the Ahmadiyya community. Muslims from larger sects, such as Sunnism, generally regard Ahmadis as non-Muslims, apostates, or heretics. The judge also ruled that the Selangor Islamic Religious Department does not have the legal authority to bring charges against members of the sect for violating the state fatwa against Ahmadiyya teachings. So this is kind of niche, so I want to pick apart some of the things that are going on here. So someone please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that Pakistan is the only nation to have declared Ahmadiyyas to be non-Muslims. In fact, I believe it's even an aspect of their constitution since 1974. Okay. So here the Malaysian, so they're saying that the Sharia courts in Malaysia do not have authority over Ahmadis because they are not even Muslims to begin with. So this judge that's since retired, but was originally involved with this case, said that it should be proven that they were following the faith, that should they be following the faith after apostatizing from Islam, the religious court would have authority over them. What she means here is if they are found to be following mainstream Islam after being involved in the Ahmadiyya community, which she clarified or referenced as apostatizing from Islam, only then would the Sharia court have authority over them. So, and there were various precedents that happened throughout the years of judges saying that the Sharia courts do not have authority over Ahmadi Muslims because they're not even Muslim. They're takfiring them. They're declaring them to be non-Muslim. So this is a very it's a very tricky subject, and I thought this was an extremely interesting development because, like I said, only Pakistan has gone to this length of anti-Ahmadi bigotry. Rivka?
So the judge's ruling and the precedent that she cited have already in a sense made a de facto ruling that they're not Muslims because the ruling itself is doing that. And it appears that the Muslim community wants it both ways. They're not Muslims, but yet they have authority over them in Sharia court as if they were.
Exactly.
And so one other example of why, first of all, you shouldn't have religious courts because there doesn't seem to be any logic there. If they're not Muslims, then they're not subject to the same rules. So therefore, why are they feeling like they have, some special ability to judge them in a Sharia court? But even beyond that, why are there two courts for different groups of people anyways? So it's a kind of interesting esoteric discussion because basically she's calling them out saying, look, if you think they're not Muslims, then you have no business attempting to interfere in their, because they're not saying that to other minorities, for example, Christians or Jews or Hindus or Buddhists or whomever, they don't feel they have authority over them.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to mute you because Big T is barking. I think it's really interesting because on one hand, it's like, awesome, I don't want to have the Sharia court having jurisdiction over me. But like, this is not the right reason for it to not have authority over you. It's because they're takfiring you.
Well, also, like, it's so the Ahmadis aren't Muslim because other people have decided, but they think that they might be. So where does that leave them? It's all these outside authorities making decisions for the, you're not hearing from any Ahmadiyya spokesperson either, which is interesting to me.
Yeah, so just to give a little bit of background, they part of this arose because of a group including 20 Malaysians, 8 Pakistani asylum seekers, 2 Indian nationals, and in Indonesia performed Friday prayers in 2014 at a community center in Selangor, which was challenged by the Islamic Religious Department, which is known by the Malaysian acronym JAIS. So they concluded that Islamic authorities in Selangor do not recognize Ahmadiyya as Muslims. Therefore, JAIS has no basis for charging them with Sharia offenses. And part of this was because JAIS told the group that contrary to Section 97 of the Administration of the Religion of Islam in the state of Selangor. So imagine having an administration for the religion of Islam enactment in 2003. They failed to obtain written permission to use the premises. They claimed the group should only be allowed to utilize the community center in Selangor for purposes in or by a mosque. So part of this has to do with like they're even restricting their right to assembly because they are not the right kind of Muslims. Malaysia, don't become like Pakistan, please. Please. Armin, what is your thoughts on this?
No, I just wanted to remind people that how Malaysia is often used as an example of how moderate an Islamic country can be. So it's a good reminder by people like Reza Aslan or his likes. Indonesia and Malaysia are often used as an example for that. So yeah, just like, yeah, guys, but yeah, this is the best you could hope for from an Islamic country, right? So the worst that you could hope for is Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Iran, and Bangladesh. Okay, so which we know all that is how bad things can get over there. But even the best, the most moderate, the most liberal Islamic countries that are supposed to be, I wouldn't count Tunisia because Tunisia is like the government's at least trying to be secular there, but Islamic countries, as in like Islam is a major influence in the government. If you think about Malaysia and Indonesia, these are supposed to be the best examples, and this is what you get from the best examples, like getting closer and closer to what Pakistan is like, or Saudi Arabia are like. This is why you don't reform Islam. This is why you don't ask for moderate Islam. This is why you ask for the end of Islam, right? This is why you ask for abolishing Islam rather than changing Islam.
And Adam has some feedback. So Adam here is actually in Malaysia and Malaysian. Moderate my foot. I live here and everyone who is not Muslim has to walk on eggshells. Yeah, but that's not what Reza Aslan wants you to think.
Right.
Of note, so this judge who originally heard the appeals said that this is just kind of a side note, said that the information provided on identity cards regarding Malaysians' spiritual status was not conclusive proof of their faith. So just they have to have your spiritual status identified on your identification. Okay? That's What? Okay, and actually, she's right. Okay, just having something randomly on an ID card is not proof that you are that way. There are a lot of closeted ex-Muslims, for example, but she means it in the context of just because these people say that they're Muslim doesn't mean that they're actually Muslim. They're probably heretics, or our courts are leaning in the direction of declaring them apostates because she referred to them as apostatizing from Islam. It's just wild. Shouts out to all the what's the word for it? Munafiq in Malaysia.
Munafiqeen.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, yeah, Ahmadis, if you want to consider yourself ex-Muslims, we welcome you. We're more accepting of if you want to define yourself as ex-Muslims, we'll cool with that. But I'm pretty sure you don't want that.
Oh my
okay,
God.
so let me just clarify this. This is what you get when you have oil. Yeah, Malaysia doesn't have oil. I don't know what you're talking about. Malaysia doesn't have.
Okay,
oil.
Lorraine is saying, this has always been my problem with this channel. You seem to think the US or the UK can help when it is clear that they're ones that have effed everything up. Lorraine, literally, no one mentioned America when talking about this news.
You brought it up.
You're making shit up.
We're talking about a very esoteric little thing in Malaysian law. I'm not sure how that relates to. I mean, it's so esoteric. Some people, you would expect they would say, why are you even bothering with this rather than go to this other, DEFCON 5 about America.
Yeah, most people don't even understand why this niche topic is important. They don't even understand why this niche topic of a government declaring a minority sect to be apostates or heretics is important or unusual, okay? Because again, I believe that it is only Pakistan that has declared Ahmadis to be non-Muslims, but I need other people to help me with that claim. Because I'm not just going to always believe Wikipedia.
Okay, let's just say Lorena says don't need much knowledge to smell the bullshit. Yeah, you don't. For somebody that thinks Malaysia has going through all of this because of Malaysia's oil, you clearly I don't know, Lorraine. Like you, I don't know.
Peanut oil.
Yeah.
What about
It's okay, but guys, Lorraine is embarrassing herself. It's okay.
Oh no,
Anyways,
but I love that Ghost Bunny is saying hashtag highlight Lorraine's comments. Glad to hear from Lorraine.
Yes, Katie saying Lorraine's comments are good for comedy. Yeah, they actually, they are so ridiculous. I'm tempted not to highlight them, but they are funny. So
it makes me smile.
It makes people realize how much ignorance is out there. So they're good for highlighting because sometimes people forget how dumb people could be. So Lorraine is here to remind us of that. Thank you, Lorraine, for showing.
Yeah, hell yeah.
For demonstrating. Anyway, and also subscribe to our newsletter because if we get removed from all these platforms, at least we could reach out to you. And guys, by the way, if you subscribe to our newsletter, you get a free copy. Where's your copy, Susanna? Get it. We're doing promotion. You get a free. It's not even promotion. It's free. Okay, so if you subscribe to our newsletter, link in the description, you get a free copy of Why There's No God. Come on, like I'm handing it out for free. Okay, it's a bestseller on Amazon, and you get it for free. So subscribe to our newsletter, and you get a free copy of Why There's No God sent to you. Link in the description.